Kader Kepala Sekolah, yang saya hormati para guru, bruder, pater, dan para pegawai, dan yang saya kasihi teman-teman semua. Semangat pagi! Sebelum kita mulai, terdapat sebuah pepatah yang mengatakan kalau tidak kenal maka tidak sayang. Maka izinkan saya untuk memperkenalkan diri. Nama saya Gladys Sayuselin Mamula, biasa dipanggil Oslin, yang berlaku sebagai moderator pada pagi hari ini. Nah, today, the alliteration is brought to you by our beloved upperclassmen with the main topic being the urgency of English for students and the contribution to the advancement to NTT. Without further ado, the stage is yours. Nah, teman-teman, hari ini literasi yang akan diberikan akan dibawa oleh kakak-kakak kelas tersayang kita dengan topik utama urgensi bahasa Inggris sebagai pelajar dan kontribusinya terhadap kemajuan NTT. Sebelum mereka memperkenalkan diri, mari kita berikan tepuk tangan yang meriah.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the time that has given to us. Now, we want to introduce ourselves. First, my name is Luisa Demarel Sandoangi, or you guys might know me as Kaloisa. I'm from 12A, and I'm standing here as your first speaker. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Teresa Nandawoda, but you can call me Nanda. I am from class 12B and I am here as the second speaker.
Hello everyone. My name is Yohanes Sanggu. I'm from 12A and I'm here as the third speaker. Thank you.
So, first of all, I'm going to introduce you to what are we going to talk about today. So, we're going to talk about the urgency of English for students and the contribution to the advancement for knowledge to NTT, especially Kupang City. So, first let me run you down to the table of contents. First we have backgrounds. There's here, I'll introduce you to what is English, basically. So, and then secondly, we have projects goals. So we're going to talk about what is our goals to presentate this. And then thirdly, we have the urgency for students in Indonesia. And then fourth, we have contribution of English to the advancement of science in Indonesia. So these two topics we're going to talk about more widely in Indonesia, and then the fifth is the urgency of English for students in Kupang City, and then sixth is the English contribution to the advancement knowledge in NTT, where we're going to specify and talk about the English's contribution and urgency for NTT, for us students in NTT. And then lastly, we have conclusions. Firstly, we have backgrounds. As we all know, English is an international language widely used in various fields, such as in education, economic, diplomacy. So first we have, for example, in education, the closest example that I can give you is our school's rule, where we have English days in Wednesday and Friday, if I'm not wrong. And also what I'm speaking with today with you guys, the language. And then further ado, in the context of education in Indonesia, mastery of English is highly important as means of communication and as mediums for access global knowledge. In the city of Kupang, as capital of East Nusa Tenggara, or as we know as NTT province, the importance of English proficiency is increasing recognizably, especially in supporting the quality of superior human resource. So by having the skill or the linguistic skill of English, we can provide many more information that we do in just Indonesian language. The quality education will greatly assist with English language skill, as the majority of science reference the global learning resource use English. So therefore, students in Kupang need to understand the urgency of English as a basic asset to face global challenge and accelerate regional development. And then, secondly, we have the project's goal. Our first project goal is to explain the urgency of English in Kupang and to elaborate the contribution of English to the development of in NTT. And now we're hopping off to the main context here. So the first main context is the urgency of English for students in Indonesia. So first we have the global communication and access. English is an international language of diplomacy, trades, science, and technology. With it, students can globally join forums, collaborate across borders. Without English, many Indonesian students risk being left out of the global flow of information. So let me give you a clear example for that. So the example is, we're going to go back to 2020s, where COVID is widely known, barely known, I assume, and there's a lot of news about COVID-19, and mostly is in English. And the information was being published by the WHO, or we know as the World Health Organization, where they're gonna talk about the COVID and everything. So if you understand it and knowing basic English, you can access that information and share it to families, friends, and basically you have an early access for the information. And then secondly, we have education and scholarship. Most scientific research and academic resources are published in English, including journals extended by Scope and Web of Science. Students without English proficiency struggle to access up-to-date information or join global academic discussion. Furthermore, university abroad often requires IELTS or TOEFL, making English is necessarily for higher students or students that is more knowledgeable. So, for example, if you, as we all know, 90% of the scientific research is basically in English, and all the information is wrapped up in English. And if I help students that's learning or researching about cancer treatment need to find an information about that, they're going to have to understand English very well. And also for TOEFLs and IELTS is was known for one of the acceptance rules, like you have to have IELTS or TOEFL test out first, then you can go to any university, for example like Melbourne University or Harvard University. And then third, we have career opportunities. In the modern job marketing, English is a skill. Multinational companies, international organizations, even local business with global tier prefers English-speaking candidates with Indonesian part of the Asian economic community. English is fluently English frequently increase students' chances of securing better jobs both locally and abroad. So by having the English skill, you can access big companies such as Samsung or Google or Unilever. In Indonesia, most of the companies prefer employees who are fluent in English because often collaborate with other clients or colleagues abroad. So by having the skills, multiple companies would targeted you as one of the candidates that very, very special. Okay, so continue. Lastly, we have digital literacy. The digital world is dominated by English, from academic platform like Coursera, edX, and Khan Academic to professional networking platform like LinkedIn. English is a primarily medium. More than 50% of the internet content is written in English, which means students are proficiently in English missed out on fast sources of information in online course and digital innovation. So another example for that is online platforms like Coursera and edX provides free courses on artificial intelligence, engineering, and entrepreneurship. But almost all the literature are in English. Indonesian students who can understand English have the competitive advancement because they can learn skills directly from world-class professor and industry experts. So probably that's all from me, this first speaker. Now I will hand this mic to the second speaker. Thank you.
Everyone. Now I will be speaking the second topic, and that is the contribution of English to the advancement of science in Indonesia. The first one is research and innovation. Because most scholarly works are in English, Indonesian researchers needed to access and share cutting-edge discovery. English proficiency allows them not only to learn from global research, but also to publish their own findings for international recognition and fostering innovation. The example for it is Indonesian researchers working on renewable energy in Bandung collaborated with German universities to publish their own work in a language journal, in an English language journal. This helped Indonesia gain recognition in global renewable energy research. Without English, their work might remain unknown until now from outside Indonesia. The second one is educational development. English enables collaboration with foreign universities through exchange, joint research, and international seminars. These opportunities help raise the quality of education in Indonesia by allowing educators and students to adopt global best practices. The example for it is UI or Universitas Indonesia and UGM or Gajah Mada University often invite guests from outside, like from Asia, America, and Europe. Students who can understand English can directly ask them questions and get benefits from these programs. Those who cannot speak English often miss the chance to learn from the experts. The third one is cultural exchange and perspective. English broadens students' perspective by exposing them to new cultures and ideas while also giving them the chance to share Indonesian rich traditions with the world. This exchange encourages critical thinking and strengthens global understanding and national identity. To support my theory, the example for it is through English. Indonesian students who join international programs like Asian Youth Exchange or Model United Nations can share Indonesia's culture, such as batik, gamelan, and traditional values with the world, while also learning how other countries solve their social problems. The fourth one is bridging local and global knowledge. Indonesia's unique resource and tradition, such as biodiversity or cultural studies, can contribute greatly to global knowledge. English helps students and scholars present these findings internationally, ensuring Indonesia's voice is heard in global discussion. The example for it, Indonesia is one of the most biodiverse countries. Research on orangutans in Borneo or coral reefs in Raja Ampat often attracts global attention. By publishing this research in English, Indonesian scientists ensure that the global academic community can learn from Indonesia's natural wealth while also helping to promote conservation worldwide. That is all from me, the second speaker. Now I will give this to the third speaker.
So, thank you for the chance given to me. Now, as the third speaker, I will tell you about the urgency of English for students in Kupang. English has become an essential need in modern education. Students who master English have several advantages. First, access to global information. Many books, scientist journal, and technology-based learning resources are written in English. By understanding English, students can access the newest research, online course, and international knowledge that may not be able in Indonesian. This gives them an advantage in expanding their studies and keeping up with global development. For example, a high school student in Kupang can take free courses on Coursera or edX, all in English. The material is equivalent to studying abroad and can be a valuable research for university entry. Second, broader educational and career opportunities. Scholarship, student exchange program, and opportunities for higher education abroad almost always require English proficiency. Likewise, many companies today both local and international demand employees who can communicate globally. Mastering English opens the door for students to pursue further education and better career prospects in the future. The example, a student successfully received a master's scholarship to Japan after passing the TOEFL because he diligently studied on YouTube and read articles in English since high school. Third, improving the quality of local human research. By mastering English, students in Kupang can develop personal qualities that make them more adaptive, innovative, and global competitive. They will be better prepared to learn from international knowledge and apply it to local context, which in turn strengthens the quality of human research in the region. For example, a student community in Kupang has begun creating English language vlogs about NTT culture to introduce their region to the outside world. Fourth, support for tourists and the local economy. In NTT, especially Kupang City, has significant tourism potential with their natural beauty and cultural heritage. English proficiency enables the younger generation to communicate with international tourists, promote local attraction effectively, and manage tourist-related business. This is not only improve service but also support the growth of the local economy. For the example, a local homestay on Simo Island has successfully attracted international tourists, become the owner and alumnus of Kupang Tourist Vocational School, is able to explain the package in English on Instagram. Next thing, I will tell you about contribution of English to scientific advancement in NTT. First, international academic and research collaboration. English opens doors for academics and research in NTT to build international partnership with universities and institutes abroad. Through collaboration, they can exchange idea, conduct joint research, and bring valuable knowledge and technology into the region to support local development. An example, lecturers from Nusa Cendana University can collaborate with research from Australia to develop climate resilient agricultural system in Sumba. That's all from me. The next chance I give to first speaker.
Hi again. My bad. So, secondly, I'm going to continue the contribution of English for the advancement of science in NTT. So, secondly, we have scientific publication and promotion of local knowledge. NTT has wealth of tradition, wisdom, and local knowledge, from farming methods to cultural heritage. By publishing research in English, those unique insights can reach global audience, allowing the world to recognize, learn from, and appreciate the richness of NTT's local knowledge. So, for example, an article of benefits of Morgan leaves from NTT, written by Undana students and published in international journals had attract the attention of researchers in Germany. So it's like using the technology right now for publish our traditional and heritage, or our culture that have never been known by the public eye. And then third, we have access to technology and innovation. Most of the latest of the technology and information are advanced right now, whether in algae culture, livestock, renewable energy, or education introduced in English. With good English skills, students and communities in NTT can understand, adapt, and apply this technology effectively to improve productivity and quality of life. For example, a vacational high school student in Kupang learned to repair solar panels from a YouTube tutorial available only in English, and now offers a solar panel installation service in his village. So, by as simple of understanding English or using English, you can basically provide new information that makes you knowing higher things, such as repairing solar panels or making one, and installated in tiny village that have no electrical source or water resources. And then the fourth is accelerating digital transformation and education. The shift towards digital learning relies heavily on resources in English, online platforms such as MOOCs, or massive open online courses, Coursera or edX. Gives students the chance to learn from world-class educator anytime, anywhere. This helps learners in NTT continues their education beyond the classroom and prepare them for the demands of the digital era. For an example, a high school student in Kupang participate in coding training from Google through the online platform because they understood basic English. So, as simple as knowing English, you can provide that big of training or practicing with mentors that is professional and also helps you learn more about something you want to pursue. And then lastly, conclusion. English is highly important for students in Kupang, especially in this era of modern globalization. More than just a means of communication, English can be investment for students in Kupang, supporting access to global education, improving human resource quality, and opening career opportunities. In short, English is not only about language proficiency for students in NTT, but also contributes to the advancement of science in NTT through research collaboration, scientific publication, and use of technology. That's all from us. Thank you very much.
So, since Senor Luisa and her friends had already given their topic as well, now I will open the first session for the Q&A. Whoever wants to ask, raise their hand. Siapapun yang mau tanya, silakan angkat tangan.
Thank you for the time that has been given to me. I have 2 questions, if you don't mind. So as the first one, as we know, English is not an easy language to learn. Is there any specific reasons why English has become an international language and why we have to learn it? The second question, on one of your slides, you said resources on the internet are written in English. But with today's technology, I believe those boundaries can be erased. There have been countless innovations on different translator apps. How would you convince people to learn English? Wouldn't they pick rather than learning the whole language? Thank you.
Good question. Good question.
We know in NTT there are many local language and cultures. My question is, how can students use English skills to compete globally without neglecting local language and cultures? Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question given to us. I will answer the question from Aurel. Is there any specific reason why English has become an international language? Is it right? So, apart from the country where English is used as the official language, English is the second most popular language in many countries around the world. As a result, when native and second language speakers are considered, English is the most spoken language with 1.8 billion speakers globally. That's all for me, thank you.
And then I'm going to continue the second language. How would you convince people to learn English? So basically our presentation is how you convince people to learn English. So you have to so first is global communication. English help you talk to people all over the world. And second is better opportunities, like what we discussed is better job opportunities, better scholarship, and higher opportunities for you to get accepted in the job, in the world of jobs, and also in university. And that's all from us. Are you satisfied with these answers? Thank you.
So the next one, I will answer the question from Nanda. How can you use English without neglecting or leaving traditional language? So if you want to use English without neglecting or leaving the traditional language, you can see English as an addition, not a replacement. Think of English as a tool for global communication, while your traditional language stays for identity, culture, and family. You can also use both daily. Speak your traditional language at home or in the community and practice English at school, work, or online. Okay.